of that because I'm on my phone.
Got it. You know what? All you got to do is mention Ocean View
We'll fill in the
Pavilion, and then we
blanks.
can.
We'll riff on it, and I'll do Salzar and all that shit, and we'll talk about that. And then people can, if there's something I forget with the address or something, just chime in or something. And
Yeah,
put that.
I'll do it. I'll chime in with the times.
Okay, great. Perfect.
And
So we're 4 minutes away from going live, you guys.
well, are we on our YouTube thingy?
Are we on YouTube yet or not yet?
We are on YouTube.
We are live on YouTube. No, we're not live on YouTube.
Oh, that's what they always.
Not.
You know, this part's live. When it'll be on
That's
the
right.
playback. All this will be on the playback.
Exactly.
Okay, you got it.
It's so funny. We come on every week when I watch the playback, and all this is on there. So
It's like we're live.
we're live.
Now we're live on YouTube.
Live, dead sense.
Are we ready to go live on YouTube? Sure, let's go live. 3
I think
minutes.
we are live already.
to go live.
No, we're not. We're not.
What do you mean? We're live. You know we're live.
No, we're not. No,
Whenever
not.
we say we're not.
Now we're live. Now we're live.
Are we live?
Right this second, right now, we are
Okay.
live. So if you're watching us on YouTube, make sure you click like, make sure you share, because we are live right now on
Correct.
YouTube, and we have a great
And
show tonight.
subscribe to us on YouTube. Yes.
That's right.
Be a subscriber.
We have
We'll
a
win lots of-
rockin' talking show tonight, you guys.
Oh, big
and
gonna
look, well, we're gonna save it. We're gonna save it for the official start. But look at this. Look at
You got Kenny Olson is in Los Angeles.
This guy's
Right,
right
Kenny?
here.
Right in Moss's living room here.
This guy's
Yeah,
right here.
Chilling.
And just think, I'm actually in a car driving, and we're broadcasting. Right, trippy, right? Where we are technology wise. It's like
Right.
here we are
Yeah.
all over the country, all over the place, and here you
And
go.
I was just getting picked up at the airport. you
The
know.
Jets
Guys,
this
is
is
our-
proud.
This is our, I mean, we'll save it and we'll again, but for anyone that's joining us on this little pre-show here, this is our anniversary show. This is a fun show. This is a
So
big
this
show.
is the big one.
This is
Can you
the
guys hear me?
start.
I don't think
Yeah.
you can hear me.
Loud and clear.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Oh, that's so weird. Okay, because it doesn't
You
sound like.
great. You sound
Okay,
great.
good. Okay.
Perkins, we can't hear you. No.
Uh-oh.
Norwood, when I woke
Now
up
we
in
can hear you.
when I woke up in Denver at 3:40 a.m. after we played, I went to the airport at 4 a.m. It was packed.
Holy shit.
It took me 40 minutes to get through TSA. I nearly missed my flight, a 5 a.m. flight. I got there at fucking 5 to 4 a.m. Packed.
Wow.
finally get-
Do you have
I get to
TSA
Burbank.
pre-flight or no?
What?
Do you have TSA pre-flight?
No, I didn't. Now, when I got
Pre-check?
to LA, when I got to Burbank, my phone said alert.
Dude,
From now on, no more masks on planes. I just got off one, literally.
I know.
minutes.
oh, you just
That's
scooted
weird.
by that, man.
It was wild. It was a
Hey,
wild morning.
One
but,
minute,
I
you
listened-
guys, before we go
How
live.
about this? I woke up. I've set my alarm for 2:30 in the morning to catch.
And you
So
woke
me
up
and,
at
me
7.
and Brian went to the airport together.
Denver?
We had 5:30 a.m. flights.
Wow.
Did
I've
you
been
make
up
it on
ever
time?
since. Yeah.
Did you make it on time? I love
We
it.
made it
How
on
was the
time.
show?
Everything worked, but
Yeah. It's an
I've
it's
been
an,
up
it's a,
since 2:30 in the
Guys, we're
morning.
about 30 seconds from starting.
I know,
the
but you
show.
know what's weird? Because
Starting
when
the
I
shindig.
talk, it doesn't go to my screen. So
Well,
are
we're
you?
hearing you?
No,
Really?
it's
Yeah,
going
it's
to your
absolutely
screen
clear.
on
You
my
sound great.
screen.
it's because of your view, your selection on
Okay,
view.
you guys, you ready?
Oh
Okay,
yeah.
we're ready.
You ready? Here we go.
All right.
Let's do it.
Give me a beat.
But
The Rock and Talk Show, Beyond Backstage, with your hosts, Norwood Fisher, Kenny Olson, Scott Page, Stephen Perkins, Sheila Conlon, and David Moss.
And welcome to the Rock and Talk Show number 51. This is the anniversary show.
That's
This
right.
is the bi-monthly show that dives deep into the entertainment industry, the business of it, the stories and culture, and everything in between. I'm the Moss Man. Look at this. Look at this. We got Kenny Olson in the house, literally
Look at
in
this.
the house,
Kenny
beyond
Olson.
Backstage. We got Norwood Fisher from Fishbone, Scott Page from Pink Floyd, Sheila Conlon, the Conlon Company, and Stephen Perkins, Jane's Addiction. This is our anniversary show, you guys. This is the beginning of the 3rd year. This is our 51st show. It's crazy.
Whoa.
Yeah.
3 years? This is insane.
Yeah, this is our Area 51 show.
I mean, think back, remember, like we basically started this show because we all, like, the pandemic just locked us all out from each other, like instantly, like overnight. And we decided to have a Zoom call, cocktail hour, to literally just
To help
hang out and talk. And like in that conversation, it was like, let's do this rock and talk
It
show.
helped with our
Right.
separation anxiety for not
And
being around each other.
Remember, we tried to do it on 420 yesterday, a national holiday, and the circuits were kind of blown, so it didn't work so good. But
Willie
know,
Nelson
a lot
shut
of people
down
had
the
that
internet.
A lot of people
right,
had
yeah.
the idea of the show that day.
our first,
You know,
guest-
like my favorite moment from all our shows is Robbie Krieger. Any slice from that show, because of how important the Doors were when we were young, and how they seemed they were like from another universe. They didn't seem like they're from Earth. They couldn't have been. And he was so open with us. And so whatever the show, the legacy of the show for me is Robbie Krieger gave us some insight on what it was like to be in the Doors. That
Oh,
was
yeah.
cool.
How about Tommy?
That
How
was
about Tommy
epic.
bro?
All right. How about the Tommy Chong show?
that
Yeah.
one
Yeah.
was pretty good
Too,
too.
right?
The false start,
How
Tommy
about the
Chong,
very-
and then all the
How
way
about the very
in
first
there.
show, though? The very, very first show, we had the honor of having Mark Geiger
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
Kenny Aronoff
That's right.
be our very first guests of the very first Rock and Talk show. So that was pretty fucking epic.
We've had
Oh, yeah.
amazing-
Big time.
We had some good ones, man.
Everybody that we
Bill
had.
Payne, right?
Yep.
Like,
Oh, yeah.
That's an epic one.
Yeah.
Art Alexaxis, that was an amazing show. That was
Yes.
one of my
Yeah,
favorite-
hey, I wonder how he's doing. My God.
He's doing great.
Yeah.
I just reached out to him. He's doing great. They're playing shows.
Excellent.
You
I might
guys,
get
in
him
honor
involved.
of our anniversary show, Kenny and I, we ain't fucking around. Just saying. All right.
What is that?
It's a
What
bowling
is-
pin.
This is Clase Azul. This is Reposado. This is the good
Oh,
shit.
Reposado.
Jeez.
Cheers. Come on.
Look
I
at you
went with-
guys.
Yeah.
I went with the classic spring water from Washata.
Yeah.
Yeah. Me,
And
I got
I'm drinking my energy drink, a fat burning energy drink. There we go.
I'm
Listen,
drinking my
last show. Who's
H Factor
last
right-
show?
H Factor. Yay.
love that stuff.
Actually,
I want to
yeah.
buy that stuff. That's
Last show.
the water I've ever had. I love that.
Yeah.
stuff.
It is. It's really, really
wow.
good. It's
Yeah.
really good. I like it. No, you're right. I think we need to
Yeah.
bring that to all of the events.
This
were
stuff
talking
is
about
so
it.
different. Just if
Wait,
anybody,
Billy,
Wait a minute. Scott's talking, you guys.
I was just saying we were talking about water. This stuff that we had at our event, unbelievable. This stuff. Have you tasted this Edge Factor stuff?
Oh,
And
that
it's
stuff was good.
the water is so different. It's the best tasting water I've ever had. Right there, I'm telling you.
Oh,
that
that's-
stuff.
It could be a sponsor for our show.
I
could- they
stocked, I
could see it.
stocked up at our last gig. They kept all these beautiful girls kept giving me samples of it. And I was like,
Well, you know, there's
I
a couple
appreciate the wetness.
there's a couple tests for water. Can you drink it? Yes. Okay. Can you shower in it? Maybe. Can you cook with it? That's important. But they say the only water you can mix medicine with is distilled water.
Ah,
So if you ever need to mix medicine or any kind of formula for a baby, etc., only use distilled water. There's no sodium, there's no salt, there's no minerals. And
Wow.
that's your lesson for today. Do not mix
that's
with spring water or tap. Thank
That's
you.
for
So
baby.
what
Thank
about
you.
what about your other medicine? Does that mean like if you mix it with your weed or your
Well, and also, you know, when they tell you your medicine's gone bad, does cocaine go bad? I mean, come on.
All right, who'd we hit? Let's pay homage. Let's
Oh,
get
Okay.
Thanks to our guest from a couple weeks
No,
ago.
not yet. Let's say where we're gonna be. We got to do our regular business first, then we
Oh.
pay
That's
homage.
right. That's right. This is a big week. We got a fun week this week. This week we're up at Port Hueneme. We're actually playing at the
Ocean View.
Pavilion.
Ocean View Pavilion. And then tomorrow we're actually heading up to From the Earth. We're going to do kind of a meet and greet from 2 to 4.
Who's
Up
going
there.
to be there, Scott? Who's going to be there? Do you know?
Yeah, sure. Mr. Stephen Perkins down there below, Mr. Norwood Fisher, Mr. Kenny Olson, Mr. Scott Page, and I think Roberta's coming, right? So we're going to all.
Roberta's going to not coming tomorrow. No, just
No.
the 4 of. Yep.
Okay. I
Just
lied.
the dudes.
Yep.
I'll be there.
And on Saturday, we're doing the show at the Pavilion, and we're going to be over at the the record store,
Salazar's.
Salzar's. That's like one of the biggest stores up there. So we're going to be there in the afternoon. What time does that start tomorrow on that day?
That starts
Saturday,
at-
1 to 2 p.m.
So we're going to do 1 to 2 meet the greet there, and then we go do our show at 7 o'clock. Doors open, 8 o'clock we play. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to be testing out a new technology called the Cube, which is going to be fascinating because it's basically how do we create an immersive experience around the band in a theater. So it should be a really fun thing. Floyd, the Cube, us hanging. It's going to be a blast. So come on out. You can get tickets at From the Earth, or you can get them at Salazar. So come on down, hang out. We should have some fun floyding it up.
Now,
Yes,
how
indeed.
real quick,
Yeah.
quick question. How do you do the
Freudian
Rock and
stuff.
Talk show while you're driving Uber? I mean, it's just crazy.
It's beautiful. I actually, what I do is here, they said they're a little shy. They don't want to talk. They find me doing the show. They actually like that part.
That was good.
Yeah, you
That
got
was
a
good,
great
Kurt.
tip.
That was
least
good.
No,
You
but
don't
you know
have-
what? It's great because
Stuck in
we have
traffic.
we have actual gigs. We've got gigs and we got hangout, and we're going to bring instruments to these so-called meet and greets. I call them just hang out and have a laugh, but you got to call them something. I guess it doesn't work on a flyer. Come and
Yep.
hang out and have a laugh. But
Yep.
Oh,
it's going to be good, man.
I think the meet and greet at From the Earth tomorrow is going to be really cool if you're in the neighborhood, because there could be some impromptu going on. So,
Yeah.
Who knows what's gonna be
Ooh,
going on.
okay.
so there you go.
Bring your
There's an
distilled
acoustic.
water. Right.
Kenny's going to be bringing this right here.
Oh,
Right.
Mix
so
it
bring
up.
it.
It's got a little.
Ain't nothing but a party, y'all.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, bring your distilled water.
Thank you.
Perfect.
Okay. Now
You know,
let's move on. Let's
yeah,
move
because
on.
we about to show the party that we've been up to for 3 years, right? We've been
Yeah.
just hanging out, partying.
Well,
on-
wait,
on-
not yet, Norwood. Sorry,
Oh.
Kenny, give us our little homage to our last week's guest. Then
Oh,
Perkins and Norwood, you take it from there. But
I
tell
love
us
this.
about.
So well rehearsed. It's so well rehearsed.
yeah, we had a great show with Rohan Marley a few weeks ago, but I spent being innocent. Here's a little. This is me and Rohan last night on 420.
Here, get it.
Where's
right
your-
there.
Yay!
We're just drinking Kool-Aid and eating potato chips.
Nice.
Actually, that was 419. That was the pre thing to his unveiling of his last night, which was a pretty amazing party too. So
Cool.
I went from being in Detroit 420 to California today. So
Awesome. And
like
who
I
else
said,
was on
Billy-
our show? Who else was on our show, Kenny?
well, okay, so we're gonna do is a whole rundown. I thought we were gonna get Billy Ayuso, who
There you go.
and what song was that? What was the song that he played? It was
I
really-
don't remember the
it was a
name of the
really good
song, but it
song.
was very, very
it
cool
was like-
song.
I'm trying to
and-
remember the name of the song, and it was good.
I mean, it was Billy Ayuso. I don't remember the name of the song.
We're good, aren't we? We're really
Yeah,
good.
it was a.
I
It was a.
know.
It was
But
a.
at
Oh my
Billy
God.
Ayuso Music, you can
Yeah.
check it out and you can see the song, or you can go back and look at the Rock and
Okay.
Talk show from last week, and you can see
Yeah.
the name of the song.
It
All right.
seemed to be it's inspired by Knocking on Heaven's Door as far as the changes in the music, but it was lyrically it was all homegrown, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Very much.
I don't even have it here. It just says Billy Ayuso performing blank.
But I have to say, Rohan's Lionheart, their whole unveiling last night was quite an amazing event. They had a huge turnout. My boy Trick from Detroit performed as well. His band was killing it, and he was very successful for him. So,
I mean,
Excellent.
Before we get into it, which I'm gonna hand off to you guys in a second to introduce our highlights, but we do have a really amazing show tonight. We're just sort of getting there. We have, Jazz Fest in New Orleans starts this coming weekend. So we have a very New Orleans featured and focused show tonight with Anders Osborne, Charlie Wooton, and Arséne DeLay. So anyways, I just want to throw that out there and let people know that we have an amazing show lined up tonight. But before we do that, I'm gonna hand it back to you guys.
Okay, well, I was going down the line of like, oh my God, we've been partying here in this, on Facebook and YouTube via Zoom for 3 goddamn years. And I'm like, it's been incredible, right? Like,
Right.
we must be having fun.
You think we finally have this together by now, right?
Well, if you think about it, all the time you spend with your band members, and then all the time you spend with possibly a TV production, put those together, and that's what we have. That's how much time we spend together. We're doing gigs and we're producing TV together in a way. And we're going to take a quick look back of what happened the last year or so, but it's only a sliver of what really happened. It's just the tip of the iceberg. I love saying the word tip. It's just the tip of the iceberg. And
Just a tip.
just the tip. So let's enjoy just the tip.
Thank you for the tip.
Here we go. Let's check it out. A look back.
What's my legacy? I can't say it. Someone else is going to have to tell me. But
your hair.
It's your hair. For sure.
Yeah, if anyone asks us today, it's your hair.
And so I told Cheech, I said, there must be a character that you can do. As a result, the Chicano lowrider was born.
So, Robbie, are you single and do you own your own publishing?
No and yes.
We had to find one more girl and we put out a MySpace ad. And along comes Carla into my DMs, back when DMs were just normal.
Pink Floyd music, it means so much to everybody in the audience.
What I found was it was that brand and that music just globally, worldwide. It didn't matter where we were. It just connected with everybody. It's like, it's a phenomenon. It's hard to explain.
And Art would turn to me to take a solo. And I told him, said, no solo. I don't play solos. I'm a rhythm guitar player. I don't play solos, One more time.
Yeah. You know what? Hey, just talk, backstage. Yeah, that was awesome. That was fun.
Yeah, we'd be here all day if we
some
touched
really
on everything
fun
that happened. I was looking for Leland Sklar. That's my hero.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's right. Leland.
I mean, there's so much that we've actually accomplished in the last 2 years with this show that to try and highlight it all in a minute and 30 seconds is kind of impossible. But yeah, there's a lot of moments. We've had some
that
fun.
was brilliant.
That felt good, man.
We were blessed with Leland twice.
So
he came on twice.
So I think, at this point, well, let's see if I think I'd like to introduce our first guest.
Sure.
Anders Osborne. We are very privileged and honored to have a New Orleans kind of legendary musician from New Orleans, the real deal. We have Anders Osborne in the room. Welcome to the Rock and Talk Show. He's connecting to audio. Can you hear us, Anders?
Yeah, I got you. Can you hear me?
Yeah. How are you?
I'm good.
That's his Star Wars voice.
You're here. We're there. Everywhere. Hi.
All right.
Welcome to the Rock and Talk Show. So first of all, where are you? Where are you, Anders? Talk to us about that.
I'm in my music parlor or music room in New Orleans, my house.
And and you are kind of, I mean, I would say you're a New Orleans staple, kind of roots of New Orleans music for the last 20, 30 years. How long have you been in New Orleans?
I don't know. I guess 85 I got here. Let me see. No, 86. Early 86. So I don't know what that makes it. Something.
Do you remember your very first meal when you got there?
It was at a friend's house, Scott, on actually the guy's name was Scott, and it was on Scott Boulevard. It's kind of a funny thing. No, Scott Street. Sorry.
And do you remember what it was?
Yeah, it was hot dogs. But let me.
It must have been good with that name.
But I tell you what, the first official food was. It was at Coop's down on Decatur Street.
Oh yeah.
And my friend that I was visiting, Roman, another dude, he was like, "We got to go down to Coop's, and they have free crawfish."
Wow.
Said, free crawfish? Really? He's like, "Yep." So we get there, and they put the newspapers down. It's like these. Yep. Coop's is kind of on the 1100 block, I think, maybe 10 or 1100 block, and so they start pouring out the crawfish. You know how it's just hundreds and hundreds of crawfish, and it's like it's steaming and it's great. I'm like, wow, this is amazing. Start eating and sucking and all this peeling it. And I go, this got to be expensive. And they're like, no, they put extra salt in it when they give the free ones, and that way we drink a lot of beer.
Right.
They were right. And so you kept ordering something to drink because you got so much salt in it. That was my first official meal.
I want to know about your first official bout with the famous drink, the Hurricanes. What was that like?
Well, I didn't drink until kind of late. Now, I'm sure.
But you came in fast and hard, right?
Well, it wasn't like that. I have a memory. This is it was a Mardi Gras. Yeah. So me and my friend used to live a few blocks down on Bayou St. John. So he had his great grandfather passed on this it's like a tiny little cottage. It's like it's a shotgun, but it's the really small ones, the really tiny ones.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we were roommates and we lived down there together, and we were both big trouble. And he woke me up, slept probably an hour because you've been out Lundi Gras, you're partying hard, and then next morning he's like, yeah, it's Mardi Gras, let's rage, So we go down, and he had a tradition, and this was the first time I remember a hurricane. And he says, we're going to slam 2 hurricanes back to back right up front. So we go down, it's like, 7:30, 8 in the morning. We're riding our bicycles down there. And that's about all I remember. And then I woke up, at 3 p.m. We were literally on somebody's balcony. And I was like, both of us woke up like, what the hell just happened? So that was my first time remembering doing hurricanes.
Hurricane happened to you. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Those things are crazy. They're like drinking soda pop, and you drink those things, you come. I remember my first time was with Jeff Beccaro. We were there with Toto in New Orleans. Never had a thing, and Jeff was there, and his wife was with him, and so we went out, and so we started pounding these hurricanes. I remember coming back. She got so sick, she was throwing up in the middle of the street. Oh my God, those things are that's like one of the most powerful.
I know, it's weird. It's so sweet and tasty that it's like sipping on something like I don't know, it's like a dessert, but it's got all these liquors in it, and I mean, you just all of a sudden you're just done.
Hurricane.
You're done. You're in the gutter.
Thus the name. But that's a good segue, actually, to bring up the fact that you're sober now for what, 10 years? 15?
Yeah, 13 years, yeah.
And actually, that's where you and I officially first met, although we have a lot of mutual friends, but we met a few years ago back. You were here in LA you've got a nonprofit called Send a Friend. And we met at a dinner before the show, and then we all went to the show. But talk about Send a Friend for a minute, because that's really cool.
Yeah, well, so when I got out of rehab, I had lived in the park, and I was broke and bankruptcy and foreclosure. I wasn't allowed to see my kids, and you know, she had started the filing for divorce and all that stuff. So I was at the very end. So when I got back and I cleaned up and I was like, okay, what do I do? Just a quick story how it came about. And I didn't finish high school. I didn't go to college. I didn't have a degree. There was nothing to fall back on. I just had music. And I didn't know what to do, but I wanted to save the house. So even if we divorced, we would have that house. We would sell it, split them up. There would be something for us, and especially for her and the kids. So I asked her for permission to go tour and try to just get on the road for a month and save at least 1 month payment, like get 1 month in. And she said, okay. I said, you don't have to decide on anything. I just want to try to save the house. She goes, okay. And then I did it again. I said, I got 1 month. I'm going to go again. And at this time, not that I was ever, you know, very established and famous, but I literally went from tour bus and doing okay to I was playing $300 gigs with the whole band, 500. I mean, it was like back at the bottom. No crew, nothing, just driving ourselves. So it was rough. Well, during that time, now there's very little green rooms. It's just bar rooms and crappy gigs again. So now you have all the old people showing up and they're starting to hand me the bags and the dope and the this. And I mean, it's just starting to come at me.
Can't get away.
And totally.
What year?
And
What
so
year
my head,
are we talking? What year? Like
2009. And this was January 14th when I got sober. So this is probably like March, April. Like a couple of months in rehab and got out. And then I just start pounding it, try to save the house. And so while this was happening, I started to freak out more and more and got on, you know, antipsychotic medicines and Seroquels and brain seizure stuff. They gave me all kinds of medication to kind of keep everything calm and compressed, which gives you 4 hours of lucidity where you're like, okay, I'm alive, I'm awake. And then the rest of it, you're drooling and just, it was just weird. It was very strange first year. But I remember one time I got home and I knew the pressure was going to be thick because I was back home playing in town. And 2 guys from AA said, hey, and these were like, you know, people that used to go, you know, in and out of jail. They were like big fighter guys. And they were like, do you want us to come sit with you and just like be there? And I didn't get what they were saying. I just said, sure, whatever. I don't know if it'll help. Like, oh yeah, it'll help. So they show up. I stood on stage and I saw these 2 dudes just sit there. They didn't do anything. They just sat next to the stage. And no one came up. No one came backstage. They didn't have to say anything. People just knew something was up. And I think it triggered the idea of what if we set up a network of, and it eventually became Send Me a Friend, but basically you set up a data bank where all these people that are in the business, managers, crew, anything in the music business, when you get out of rehab or you start to get sober, but you have nothing to fall back on. Oh, I forgot to say, the rehab said I should quit music and get another job for 2 years.
Right.
And I was like, what am I supposed to do? So anyway, I took their idea and said, what if we start collecting sober people that we can call on to come out? So if you're a trumpet player in the main music district in Cleveland, or you're playing somewhere in San Francisco and you have a steady weekly gig and you're a trumpet player, there's no green room, there's no TM, there's nobody taking care of your business, you're just exposed. What if we send someone to just sit there while you work so you can make money? They're not there to get you sober. They don't even have to talk to you. Just keep you company so you can go to work. Yeah. So that's where we started. And we've gathered thousands of names and people are constantly calling. I mean, it's still underground, but we're working hard and we're partnering up with, you know, different people, and it's fun.
It's so interesting because, well, I was to say, at 18, I started a band called Jane's Addiction, and there was drugs everywhere, but it was all about choices, right? And it's hard to make choices if it's all in your face. You have nowhere to hide, and it's either food or drugs, and then you run out of food, and then what? You got to go do drugs.
Yeah.
So but that's great because the sense that once you're past it all, but people come to your show, they're getting fucked up. It's not like you're a dentist or a lawyer who can get sober. People around them are usually sober. Yeah. We're musicians. We're at places where people are coming to get high and get loose and have a drink, and they don't realize it's too much sometimes. But it's an honor to hear that story and how honest you are, because it inspires. I was very lucky to dodge a few bullets, and I was around a bunch of them. But I've seen what happens, and it's just it's a great story to hear that you're here. And I know the way you sing and play music, I can hear what you've been through. it's rap. It's really
Would you play us a song? Would you grace us with something right now?
Well, and of course, and also we're here to support you, whatever you need for this program. I think it's amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Before you do that, I have a question to ask you about this. So by starting this program, do you feel that has aided you through the process?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of factors, but number one, the more you're of service when you try to stay sober, it gives you a little bit of time away from your own thinking and your own self, right? That's the difficult part when you get sober. All this past childhood trauma and all the stuff that we go through life, it comes back, it shows up, and now here it is. And I've never processed it in 25, 30 years. I never went through any of it. So now it's very overwhelming. By doing service work like this, I get to focus on other people and just spend time thinking about them, and it gives me a break. So that's the number one thing it does.
I think that the program sounds amazing, brilliant. And 1993, Fishbone played Lollapalooza, and somebody that I loved, considered a friend, Lane Staley, Alice in Chains, maybe he had the pilot program. He might not have been the first, but that's the first person I knew who came on tour with 2 bodyguards.
Yeah.
Doing a similar, but not the same. Similar. It reminds me of it.
Yeah, and I remember I talked to Harold Owens from Music Cares.
Yes. I know Harold well.
Yeah, he helped a lot of people. He helped me. He hooked me up with my rehab. Now, he talked about that program. And so I know it's been happening before, but I think
I don't think it was a program. I think the band was trying to keep their singer alive.
I got you. Yeah. Well, that's
great. It was worked like a private. It sounds like a private program.
Yeah.
I think just
get with the program.
Get with the program.
Instead of a friend, it's hire a bodyguard. 2 of them.
Yeah. There you go. It's that if you have the money, you could do that. But that's kind of what we discovered. Honestly, is we help mostly people that are unknown, and they just. Their crew, they're like whatever, they're a roadie or they're bass players and nobody knows the band and stuff. That's who we help, so they can just.
Do you know Bob Forrest?
I do not.
You do not? Because Bob Forrest.
We should connect you.
Yes.
He mentioned a similar thing.
I love it.
About somebody very close to me, too.
Okay. There's been a few on the road, I guess, right?
Yeah.
We get into trouble.
So how do people connect? Is there an app? Is there a website?
Yeah, so what we've done, we've tried on our own. We have been under other umbrellas. We just dismantled the foundation again and went under an organization called Phoenix, which is it's a huge organization, and it's about healthy living, workout, hiking. It's a more well-funded organization. They're going to take us on, and they're creating an app that we tried. But we had, limited means and stuff like that. We had some strong sponsors, but it wasn't quite enough staff. So I would just look up sendmeafriend.org.
Okay.
Sendmeafriend.org and Phoenix. Phoenix is out of Denver, but they're in all 50 states. And just reach out. You can call us all the time. We help people regularly. And would love to hear from you.
It's so important too, because you're looking at a line of fire. It's like you could go and run into somebody that you haven't seen in 10 years, 20
Yeah.
years that was part of that whole thing. But people don't realize when, you know, during sobriety, your disease still proceeds to go, and like, you know, you
Yeah.
you can
And
jump
it's
out of
a
the
whole
wagon and
thing,
go
you know.
forever.
The main thing that happens that I've discovered with addiction is it's habitual stuff, right? So we call it, are you looking in the right direction?
Exactly. Yeah.
If you're looking in the wrong direction, if I keep looking at porn, eventually I'm going to jerk off. But if you stop looking at porn, I think you'll be okay, right? You can shift.
I'm
It's
not
the same with,
I'm looking at porn?
right? So then people go, well, how do I do that? Hey, man, you
One,
just...
one thing at a time here.
Yeah, okay, sorry about that.
Let's not go into that.
All right.
I know.
Okay, scrap all that. No. I didn't mean that.
Yeah, a whole nother thing. No, but it's also the same. I'm in the TV film industry, right?
Yeah.
And we have the same, you know, issues and things. So I think it's really, really amazing because we're on set for months at a time.
Yeah.
Long hours. It's the same thing. You know, you guys get up there and perform and on the road. No, I think it's brilliant. So kudos to you.
Thank you.
It's
All of
Will you
entertainment.
grace us with a tune?
It's brilliant and so needed too. It really
Yeah.
is. God bless.
I'm going to get a guitar. Yeah.
Look, all of
Grace us with a
entertainment's
Get that
proximity
guitar.
to the party
Yep.
is it can be lethal, and we've all had friends, loved ones, and acquaintances
That's
Right.
for sure.
I mean,
That's for sure.
needed that, and so
I have family still dealing with it right
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. And we have to show up. We have to be at places no matter what, right? So let's call a friend if you need it.
Sometimes it's not hard to jump from a wagon to a Ferrari once the other way.
now. All right, Anders, it's all you.
How's it sound?
Sounds
That's
great.
it. That's perfect.
From Jacksonville to Wichita, I hitched a ride with an actress from LA. She drove and talked through a cloudy night, swore to me she would make it big one day. I didn't sleep a single wink, but we got to Austin in a blink. Yes, the sun was setting gently on the Capitol. You know, her name was Mary Angeline. She filled my heart with light and mystery. Well, I spend the day on Guadalupe, watching people having somewhere they should be. All business suits and hippie kids, but none of them seem to be all that free. Yeah, I found a dog and a fifth of gin, an empty bar that would let us in, with a jukebox that only played Townes Van Zandt. Yeah, I stayed a while and sang along, but I know when it's time to move on. Moving on. Yeah, learn to read the room and move along. Moving on. It's not up to me to fix everything that's wrong. Yeah, I'm moving on. You know, I drifted for a year or two, learned to be real happy with what I got. I left Telluride and Santa Fe for a dusty lot in sleepy paradise. Yeah, I worked the mines from dusk till dawn, I fell asleep in the Apache sun and dreamt about a rainy New Orleans. Yeah, the loneliness and desert life was the closest thing I've known to God's true light. Well, one day I just dropped it all. I saw no point in being all this blessed. With $50 in Grandpa's suit, I got on a bus to the valley of San Ynez. Yeah, I lied my way to a job or two. I learned to talk like the rich folk do, till the mighty Mississippi River called me home. Now I'm gliding through the Everglades. I'm trying to hitch a ride back to Key West. Moving on, moving on. Yeah, learn to read the room and move along. Moving on, moving on. It's not up to me to fix everything that's wrong.
Wow. Dude, that is awesome.
Wow.
I got to remember the lyric I love. Standing around watching people wonder where they are, where they should be.
Yeah.
That's a great line, man.
Thank you. I'm sorry that my harmonica was filled with saliva and it was tweaking out on me. I hope it wasn't that bad.
No.
That was perfect.
That was your.
That's between you and you. We didn't notice a thing.
Oh.
Yeah, was that your? That was your song.
Yeah, it's my tune.
Dude, you're a beautiful lyricist, man. That reminds me. I don't know if you remember a guy named Michael Smotherman. I just love the way you use words.
I haven't heard his name in forever. That's beautiful.
Yes. Smotherman was like one of the great songwriters. I got to work with him one summer. We started a thing called Tune a Day. We wrote a tune every day. We finished it. We recorded it. We had one hit out of that, but man, I learned a ton from that guy. Just the way to think about music in a way. What a genius.
You know, this is our anniversary show, Anders. And this is the beginning of our third year. And we started this sort of, getting musical performances at the end of the show, which we're going to have Charlie Wooton and Arséne DeLay in a moment. But in my mind, that could be one of the most amazing performances that we've had on the Rock and Talk Show. So
absolutely,
thank you for doing that. That was
so soulful, bro.
That was the real deal.
Thank you.
That's the real deal, Neil, right there.
You guys are very sweet. Thank you.
So what's going on? We got Jazz Fest coming up. Like, I'm going to be in New Orleans from the 3rd to the 10th. Where am I going to see you besides Dead Feet?
Okay, Dead Feet. Well, I think that's it for me. What else do I got? I got to look at my calendar. There's got to be
playing
something.
The festival? Like, are you not?
Yeah, but that's on the 1st. So you're
first
missing that.
weekend?
Yeah, but there's so much music. You'll catch me some other time.
I'm sure we'll see you. I'll see you at the Republic for sure.
Yeah, that'd be funky.
I'll be there. But what else is going on? Like, we're gonna bring in our friends Charlie Wooton and Arséne DeLay in a moment. But
I have a quick question.
Yeah.
Okay.
When you have advice for, and not talking about young or old, just artists, just any artist, what would your advice be?
Ooh, I think this is from where I stand. I would try to remember every week the initial spark that got you started. What was it that created the relationship with music? Because I forgot it. My first was I was 8 years old, and I came up with a melody on a pump organ, and it made me cry. So there was between me and the maker. That was what happened. It had nothing to do with performance. It was just a musical interaction of the universe.
Yeah.
And I forgot for decades. And once I brought that back, it helps me just remind me of where I should be and how I should perform and why I should perform.
Wow.
Awesome.
That's profound. Profound, man. Thank you.
Thank you very much
That
for
feeling,
that.
that feeling you got. Yeah.
That's it. The feeling you
That
got. That's
feeling.
all. It's very simple. It's just remember the initial spark, stick with it. No matter if that's, to rock out a cool looking guitar, stick with that. Whatever the feeling is, do it.
Yeah. Whatever turned your key to open the door.
Yeah.
For me, it was 1977. My first arena concert in my life was Kiss in 1977, and it changed the entire course of my life. Honestly, like
fantastic.
And now David Moss is playing stadiums all over the world.
Exactly.
Yes.
I'm in them for sure.
Yeah. Beautiful.
So at this point, I think we want to introduce our sort of musical guest, which is
great.
A dear friend of mine, Charlie Wooton and Arséne DeLay. I'm going to bring them into the room right now. Charlie Wooton, I met on the road. My son was in a band called Steel Toed Slippers, and we were doing direct support for Royal Southern Brotherhood. And Charlie Wooton was the bass player for Royal Southern Brotherhood. And we met, it's been over 10 years ago. And we've just been super dear ever since. Charlie and Arséne. Arséne is from a historical New Orleans family as well, and an amazing singer, songwriter, guitar player. So Charlie, you're sideways. We need you to get a little bit sober, a little bit straight here.
He's just in the
turn
back
your
cave.
phone a little bit.
You're sideways too. Let me see
twisted.
what's happening.
Do we
Come
need
out
a
the
friend?
back cave,
Do we
bro.
need a friend?
I can send somebody.
Charlie, we can
Thanks so
send
much.
help if necessary, but you do need to turn the phone.
You know, that's just what happens to me, right? Everything's
It's not the phone that's
There it
turning,
is.
it's
There
turning
it
the
is.
whole
There it
room.
is. There
you
it is.
go.
Perfect. Beautiful.
Why didn't it? Hold on, it should have done this thing.
There
It's like
you
the-
go.
There it
There.
is.
It's like the,
Yeah,
All
go.
right.
Atta-
Don't
It was
feel bad,
fine at
Charlie.
sound check.
I'm the technically challenged one in this group. Don't
Yes,
feel
you
bad.
are. Yeah, but
I
you are
appreciate
getting
you guys
better,
do it every
Kenny.
week.
You are getting better every week.
I'm
You are.
learning.
That was kind of like the Fred Astaire moment.
Oh my goodness. Hey,
Right? Did you see that? It was completely. Someone's dancing on the ceiling right now.
How we doing, Charlie? What do you say? You good?
Talk to
We got Anders dancing over here. in the
Anders is
corner.
on the
Here we
ceiling
go.
now. Yeah,
No.
there we go.
That's
There we go.
Go Anders, man.
Yeah, I know. I've got my chandelier up here too. Anders, I noticed your chandelier. There's mine.
So there
I
we
love
are.
chandeliers.
Charlie, Arséne,
Okay,
can
we're
we-
there.
Can you guys hear us?
Yes.
So how
We're
you guys
live.
doing?
Great.
Where are you guys?
In New Orleans.
You guys are also in New Orleans. We got the French Quarter Fest happening right now, the greatest festival in New Orleans. And then next week we have the Jazz Fest starting, right? We have the Jazz Fest next weekend, which is going to be amazing. But what's going on with you guys? What are Charlie and Arséne up to?
Surviving festival season.
It's all full swing, man. It's festival time here. I mean, last 2 years we haven't had it, And like the last week and a half, I realized I had to sleep today because I hadn't slept in a while, man, because just one thing after another. You know how it is here in New Orleans when it gets going. But we're out of practice. You know what I'm saying?
Well, talk a little bit about your duet. Tell us a little bit.
Well, no.
you
Wait.
guys.
Hold on.
Yeah, that was we gotta go back to that.
One thing. I want to have a muffaletta sandwich immediately. What am I gonna do? I'm in Southern California. There's no muffaletta.
First you gotta say muffaletta.
Oh, that's
Muffalata.
why I can't find it.
Because you can't pronounce it.
I can't say it. Okay, now back to the music. I just like
The
talking
dude
about
from
food.
LA, come on. You can't pronounce fucking Southern French muffalata.
As far as food is concerned down here, and they talk about all the restaurants and the great food, you gotta know somebody. We got some Brazilians here right now that came into town for a month that some couple of friends I know, and they're like, I keep telling them, like, make sure you eat her mom's gumbo and red beans and rice here at the house. Don't go out there and buy it. We already got that here.
Yeah. And
We're
I need some homemade olive tapenade, man.
Tapenade?
You're the culinary man, Mr. Perk. Check you out. Muffalata.
So,
I've never heard of a muffalata. What the hell? First of all, tell me, what is a muffalata sandwich? You got me. What is
Scott, really? You don't know what a muffalata is?
God, I gotta send you a Central Grocery muffalata.
Scott.
I have no idea.
Okay,
I'll get you hooked
We're gonna
up.
have a whole new show based on it.
Yeah, just the muffalata episode. I got it.
Yes. I'll bring in Gordon Ramsay. I'll bring in Gordon Ramsay.
I will dial in and be in a total audience of that fucking show.
Yeah, well, we did. Gordon and I did shows in New Orleans. We were there doing show. It was
That's
awesome. Yes. Anyway,
how many strings do you guys have? You have 12 or 16? What are you guys holding? I can't see.
Oh, the instruments?
Yeah.
Oh, this is my bass called the Bella bass, made by Mike Delaney. I designed it with him.
Give us a little sound. How's it sound? Give us a little quick sum.
Very simple. Volume, tone,
Whoa.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know what you want.
a muffalata.
Favorite song, Muffalata.
That's the Muffalata Blues.
Sheila's not letting go. She's like, no, I'm not letting go.
That sounds super cool, Charlie. That sounds super cool. So talk a little bit about, listen, the first time I saw you two play together, Charlie and I go back over 10 years, but I saw you two here in LA at the Mint. By the way, my mom, I told her you guys were on the show tonight. My mom wanted me to make sure to say hello to Charlie and Arséne for me. So my mom said to say hello. So there you go.
And don't forget the muffalata sandwich.
I know. I was going to say, did your mom make gumbo for them or the muffalata?
I make gumbo, and I'll put it up against anybody's in New Orleans. Just saying. But back to this. Now, talk about your duo.
Our duo. First, I want to say the Mint. The best thing about the Mint was your mom and dad and your daughter. There was 3 generations there, and all you guys know that room. And so the Mosses were sitting stage right. So every time I looked to the right, I just saw these huge smiles, man.
Huge smiles.
Cool. It was because
we always see that. That's the biggest thing when the Moss family is together, is when you see those smiles. It's crazy. It's unbelievable. It's like it lifts you up when you guys are in the room. That's for sure.
Well,
right?
You guys make us smile. So that's the bottom line. It's a symbiotic relationship for sure.
Right.
So about this duo, what do you want to say? Look at that look, bro. So
are you guys married? Are you boyfriend, girlfriend, or are you just like a duo musical performers?
No,
We're duo musical performers.
Okay.
We travel together. So we both have our own careers, okay? And when we play together, we play together. So that's really kind of my last record, Blue Basso, that I did. Actually, Andrews, you played on it. If you remember, Arséne was the featured vocalist on that record. And, yeah, we do some things together. My band Zada Funk travels, and if Arséne's available, she'll come sing in the band. If she's not, I use another girl named Carolyn Broussard. And Arséne has Bridgeport Fest. She's going to be playing with A2D2 is a group she has with Antoine Diel. Tell us about that.
My friend Antoine and I, we've been singing together for well over a decade. We actually met in Los Angeles because I was in a band once upon a long time ago in a different lifetime called Bod and the Villains, and both of us were vocalists in that in Los Angeles. And so he moved, I came home roughly around like 2011, 2012, and he moved to New Orleans after he saw me getting all of this work. A lot more work here, you know, in the music realm than than any of us were in Los Angeles. And he came here, and we have our duo group. We specifically focus on duets, and we actually did a jazz record right before the pandemic, right before the lockdown, that has not been released. So that's what we're going to be putting out there, this French Quarter Fest. Finally, now that it's actually going to happen, because we've been canceled about 3-4 times.
Yes, it was. Well,
Now,
congratulations.
Quick question, being a drummer and loving what's happening always when you walk the streets of New Orleans, how does all those rhythms affect your right hand rhythm playing on a guitar player? Are you constantly thinking second hand, second line stuff? How's it work?
No, like I was always a vocalist, and my first instrument was actually piano, but I learned to play guitar, specifically rhythm guitar, because the songs in my head had a very, very specific rhythm, and none of the guitar players that I was hiring could get it right. So,
oh, that's cool. That's what I love. As a drummer, I love asking the guitar player to sit on the drum set, because they always show me a rhythm that I would never think of, because I've got like training, so to speak, and they've got a rhythm that's in their head. It's a different rhythm. It sits differently. It's on the and, it's on the 3, or whatever it might fall.
Sure.
That's
cool. That's very
question.
cool.
Wow.
Some insight about this young lady in New Orleans and how she grew up. The rhythm is in her. When she picks up a tambourine, like, man, the band will be at 10, right? You thinking it can't get no better. And she'll just a little funny smile and hold a tambourine and be like, next time it comes back around, she hits it and boom, we take off. And so that happens in the guitar playing. Her whole family has rhythm, you know, and it is true. You open up this door, the front door right here, and it's in the street. You're correct. Yeah. But it's in her, and yeah, and as David, I remember when we went to go play the Men, he kept saying, "Man, you're not bringing a drummer." I'm like, "Bro, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it." And at the end of the night, that's one thing he said. He goes, "Hey, man, y'all didn't need no drummer, man."
Why don't you guys give us a set? Let's
well, wait. Before they do that, I just have to share something about New Orleans with all of you guys. So I was very fortunate to be able to work with Harry Connick Jr. and in the very beginning days of his career, and Wynton Marsalis and Branford Marsalis. And I know that's so akin to New Orleans. So this is this great pleasure to be here with you guys.
I'm so excited that I get to be in New Orleans in about a week and a half. Like it's been 2.5, 3 years. I can't wait to suck some crawfish. Fuck. Let's go. Let's go, you guys. Give us something.
How much time we got?
You got
2 minutes.
2 minutes.
Go. 3, 4 minutes.
Press down?
Sure.
You press down.
Wind blowing through my hair, my nose spilling the air. Grab a go, go take a stroll. Time to let the good times roll, yeah, it's best time. Yeah, it's best time. We got Colonel's Harness and Marshall Ball, Tuxedo Jazz and Reservation Hall. Big Street will make you groove. Timberine soap warrior cruise. We got Muscle on Perry, Dr. John, Muscle, Wolf, and Washington. Big Frida, us way, best time. It is best time. You know the best time is the best time. All your flags in the daytime. Just to rally for the night. Sun setting on an accurate stage and Aaron Neville sings. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, 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 oh. Troops still at top of residing core. Giving up a storm as a feather. Trombone strut, my big step. Rock and roll down with a big brass band. And the motion on every takes on human form. You know it's always a time well spent with the booty singing in the Aussie thing. Yeah, best time. Yeah, it's best time. You know the best time is the best time. All your flags in the daytime. This you rally for the night. Sun setting on an accurate stage and Aaron Neville sings. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, 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 oh. Actors well, they dominate the lineup. Sponsored by Shell. Can't figure dry your tears. Same time, same place next year. Take a break and move your feet. Local bands holding down Frenchman Street X. Best time. That is best time. You know the best time is the best time. All your flags in the daytime. Rally for the night. Sun setting on an accurate stage and Aaron Neville sings. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, 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 oh.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Charlie Wooton, Arséne, DeLay. That was amazing.
Smoking.
That was fun.
Wow.
That
was right. That was right and tight.
That was
I wrote that for first time. Anders was on our screen, and I enjoyed his smile when she said "sponsored by Shell."
That's a joke for us. That's inside joke for us.
I love oil.
Awesome. Well, I mean, you guys, this was our anniversary show, and it's the week before the big Jazz Fest weekend in New Orleans.
1 in 2 years.
Hey, where's Norwood?
Right there.
I hadn't heard a word.
Oh, he's
from
still on mute.
Because I'm muted. Yeah, my brother. Y'all are for sure dynamic duo.
Man,
This was a great show.
I
This
don't
was
know
a
what
great show. A great show to be for our anniversary show. You guys made it. Both you guys just killed it musically. Great conversation, man. I can't thank you enough. This was awesome. This was a really good one, man. Really.
Showing an honor to have you.
What's up, Charlie?
I got to give you this real quickly. Norwood, you changed my life. I told you this before. Let me tell you on the podcast. When I was in high school, I drove from Lafayette to New Orleans. My best friend said I could control the tape player. At the time, I was a jazz snob, and he put Bonin in the Boneyard, and I felt like Steve Martin in The Jerk when I said, I got to go find out what else is out there. And ever since that moment, I never, ever put music down. I at least gave it a chance to listen to it, because, brother, that moment changed my life, my man, and I appreciate it.
Wow.
Thank you, my brother.
Wow. I'm going to cry. Oh my
Me too,
God.
man. Eyes water.
Boning in the boneyard.
Seriously.
Basin Freeway coming from Lafayette to New Orleans. As soon as we got on the freeway, he goes, I got it. He put it in, and boom. Yeah, man.
Right on.
That's beautiful.
Well, I quite enjoy
Anders,
listening
Charlie,
to you
go ahead, Norwood.
thump the bass, my brother. You know, you're probably a badass when you caught the breeze, but wherever you are now, I'm loving how you flow.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. Woo!
I'm so honored. I can't wait. I'm almost home. I pulled over because as soon as I get home, I'm getting out my horn and I'm going to go play. You've inspired me. And I want
That's
music
the
right now.
best.
I swear to God, honestly,
He's got 2 more Uber trips before the night's done.
almost stopped. Almost.
You know what's cool, man? I totally heard New Orleans and that rhythm guitar. I heard it. I love it. And that bass playing was so lyrical. It was a whole nother song happening. It was like amazing. Wow.
Charlie sings on that bass. You guys are amazing. I can't thank all 3 of you enough for joining us tonight on the show. I can't wait to get to New Orleans on May 3rd.
I bet.
I'll see you on the 5th at Dead Feet. I can't wait for that.
I wish I was going down to New Orleans.
I know.
I got to.
Why don't we all meet in New Orleans? Come on, let's do the Rock and Talk Show live from New Orleans.
There was 2 years.
You know what
one
sucks?
time on tour, I got to play New Orleans on my birthday 2 years in a row. We ended up on tour that way, which was cool.
You know what sucks about this is we were scheduled
to
play Jazz Fest for the
like
last
3
2
times.
years. We were going to play. COVID took us out. Then it was coming up again. They contacted us. We're going to play again. Then it came up again. And then we kind of again. Then we're going to say, don't forget to hold this date and everything. And then
I know
it disappeared.
I know. I'm so sad
excited
about that.
Yeah.
I was supposed to do that Brooklyn Bowl opening in Nashville with George Porter Jr. too.
Well,
That got canceled.
you guys, our next show is May 5th in the middle of Jazz Fest, and we have the legendary Jorma Kaukonen on the show.
Brother Jorma.
And we've got Norwood's Reject Your Reality. The kids are going to be joining us on the show on May 5th. But on that note, it's just
I didn't know that. Was that a new one?
It just happened. It just happened. We just confirmed all of that today.
Wait, so I have to cancel the mariachi band?
Well,
Never,
mariachi band?
We'll take them to dinner.
Never cancel the mariachi
We can
band.
do them all. We'll do them all.
Okay.
You guys all have California.
They come with them on their hip.
We'll do them all. We'll make it work. We'll get them all in there. But
every musician needs a gig. We got to give the mariachi guys a gig.
Exactly. It's Cinco de Mayo. We've got to have a little bit of that.
Okay, we'll do the Reject Your Reality on the following show. We'll move.
No.
Okay, we'll do them all. We're gonna have a rockin' talking show.
Yeah, it is.
Hire the mariachi band on another day because they always have a gig on the 5th. It's the
that's true too. That's true too. That's true too.
Double payday.
We'll book you later. Yeah, we'll book you later. Yeah.
Charlie, Arséne.
Yes,
Anders.
everyone, thank you so much. And please like the Rock and Talk Show on Facebook, Instagram at the Rock and Talk Show, and click on YouTube, subscribe, and see you next show, right, Moss?
Yeah, but don't go away, everyone. Hang tight.
See you next time on the Rock and Talk Show Beyond Backstage with your hosts, Norwood Fisher, Kenny Olson, Scott Page, Stephen Perkins, Sheila Conlon, and David Moss. Executive producers, Sheila Conlon and David Moss. Producer and director, Eric Lloyd. Assistant producer and creative director, Mark Armentano. Editor, Graham Cooper. Theme music by ThinkX. Sponsors, IK Multimedia and Lewitt Microphones. Artist Relations, TPI Films. Special thanks to From the Earth, ThinkX, The Conlon Company, and Mac. Check us out on YouTube/The Rock and Talk Show, Facebook and Instagram at The Rock and Talk Show.
We'll see you on